This is the second day of glazing in colors on this painting. Glazing is a process where you kind of start with a translucent layer of paint and then you work into it to create these wonderful kind of glassy layers. What I'm doing right now is putting on a layer of glaze, so that's a translucent layer of paint, and then I'm going to be working into it in tiny details with highlights and shadows and also midtones. Glazes are made by combining paint with medium. Medium is a material that you mix paint with to change its translucency, its texture, or its drying time, or some combination of those. As I work, I'm making lots of little decisions about what needs to be pushed in what direction in terms of color or light and dark. You can see me kind of jumping around. Eventually what happens is I kind of settle into an area and really concentrate on that area. So it might be the area around one eye, or it might be the nose. And as I work, I have to constantly make little mental notes about what needs to be done. So you can imagine these kind of imaginary Post-it notes all over my brain saying, hey, when you're done with this part of the mouth, go back up and, touch up the nose a little bit or something like that. I don't use a lot of different colors. I mix all my colors from 4 or 5 different tubes of paint on my palette. I'm also using round brushes here exclusively. You can see me sometimes holding them in my mouth when I need to switch between 2 of them really rapidly. You can also see me using something called a mahl stick, which I put against the top of the painting and I use it to steady my hand so I can do all those little tiny detailed strokes. If I was working in a very different style, I probably wouldn't use a mahl stick, but it's very helpful for doing this kind of work. There's a constant push and pull between light and dark and being detailed and using broader strokes. It's a lot of on-the-fly kind of decision making, which makes me very nervous actually. It's not something that I ever feel like I know exactly how to do it. In fact, every time I sit down to start a new painting, I feel like I'm learning how to paint all over again from scratch. So it's a very intimidating process, but you get to a point where you kind of trust yourself and you can trust the materials a little bit. Hopefully this painting is pretty close to being done. I think it's got 1 or 2 more sessions in it that just involve a quick kind of once-over, tiny details being touched up here and there. The background I might darken a little bit. We'll see what happens, but this really helps to kind of give it contrast and make the head stand out. All in all, I've been quite pleased with it. So I hope you'll tune in next time.